catch up on the Yurt project and change of circumstances for me. So, life got a bit tricky in winter. I made a lot of progress up the hills in the rain and the dark. However, didn't get too much. And so I moved up to Bradford to Ali's Mill for a while and sewed up there for a bit. And then, whilst doing that, I saw that there was, I got a bit carried away, started looking for an industrial unit, found one, and managed to get it. So now, the Yurt project is progressing again. It is now middle of April, and we are in the beginning of spring. It actually is warm. And this is the new unit. So it's in Rhaeadr in mid Wales, and it's on the East Street Enterprise Park, number 8. And so it looks like I've got a workshop, and I intend, intend's not a bad thing, I suppose. But anyway, I have these kind of ideas and visions of making structures for people to live in and do things in and exist in, and like kind of dwell in some of them, but do things in. And I've got a job, so I'm making a 20-foot insulated yurt for a friend of mine. These panels out here, these are sort of the outline frames for the door, window sections either side of the door. They're the slopey bits. They're the wrong way around there, but here you are. So in the background is the doorway, and then there's the 2 slopey bits. They should be either side of the door, the other way around. And then there's some more panels for windows, fire escapes, and fire, the bit behind the fire, behind the stove. So they'll get filled in with glass and other things. And then in here is the workshop. So these are my benches, 2 big 8x4 benches on rollers. So I can move them around. I can either have a big long 16-foot long bench or a big 8x8 bench. I've also got over here 2 more roller benches, which make up to an 8x4, but they're separate into 4x4s, and they've got a sewing machine set into the corner, so I can integrate that into the other setup if I need to. Which on this project, even though I'm making quite a big project, they're all in small pieces. So look, right, so this is the layout of half the floor and half the wall of the yurt, 20-foot diameter. So it's all in segments, and the segments are all kind of 6.5 inches thick. And inside there, I don't want to focus on the first one. The first panel I made is the octagon in the middle, and I didn't expect to get it anywhere near right, so I didn't use clean canvas. Anyway, I'll probably make it again, or I might paint it, because you can paint this type of stuff. There we go. So I've made it all in kind of 6-inch thick insulation. Then there's a piece of plywood over the top of the insulation, and then it's sandwiched with vinyl on the kind of weather side and X marquee canvas on the inside. And then the panels are kind of located, held together in whilst being put together with Velcro on all the edges. So there they are. That's the Velcro. And then you can see inside this panel, there is the plywood, FSC, good stuff, and it's varnished with water-based interior, well no, floor varnish, but non-flammable. This is the insulation, and then the canvas on the outside. Everything, I can't really Velcro it together well one-handed. The Velcroing needs to be done kind of carefully to get a nice neat thing. Wherever 2 panels meet, this is the first one I made, so the flashing is no way wide enough. Where 2 panels meet, there's a flashing that is sewn onto one panel, and then you can pull that panel onto the next panel. As I say, these first ones I made, the flashings aren't big enough, so before I install it, I'll sew another flap on there to make it properly come over. So they Velcro together like that, and that's the basic weatherproofing and not the final location strength of this, not the structural fixing of the walls, but just the kind of put it together sort of situation. So this is a view of the back of it, I mean the outside of it, and you can see how, like, this one's not very long, this one's much longer than it needs to be. I don't know, I do know what went on, but I can't really say in case, you know, whatever. So as you can see, in the setting up of this, I just started playing around, never expected to actually just carry on. So I have set it up a little bit tiny close to this wall. There are the other panels for the floor over there. So the actual sort of layout, it's got an octagon in the middle, then the shapes around it, then the shapes around that, and then the wall around that. It's going to have an eaves, so when the roof comes down from up there, it'll come down and extend by not much, because it'll impinge on the windows and the daylight, but enough to shed the water off the wall. Hooray. Right, that's the upstairs that I've made upstairs above the rollover door. So up there I'm going to have like an office design, clean, warmer space. I love the roller benches. Over here is my drawing table at the moment. I've set up here. This wants to go upstairs, but it's just too heavy. I cannot move it. So there we are. Over here, I've got my little studio, so I can still plug in a microphone and play a little few tunes if I want to, and I can make tea on my tea trolley. When I set the yurt up, like the other day, I had the wall panels out, most of them, the ones I'd made, and it completely filled the workshop up from over there to over here. So I've had to sort the toilet area out, and now there's a sort of bench in there, and this whole tea trolley slides underneath that, so I can get rid of this if I need to. But there's no point, because I have to keep bringing it back in every 15 or 20 minutes to make another cup of tea, so, you know. So there we are, this is it. And so the yurt is progressing. This is what I'm doing right now, is sewing together a wall panel, which is now nicely laid out there. So I just lay it out as if it's going to be, then I just come and get a bit, think, oh, I'll sew that bit of Velcro on there, and I just get that bit, take it over to the sewing machine, sew it on, bring it back, lay it back down. It's not exactly batch production, which is what I was aiming at. It's very much one at a time, but that's as much as my brain can cope with. And at least here, I can lay it out totally kind of like beautifully, with tons of space, methodically, and without loads of mess. And so then all the mess in my brain is kind of like, doesn't affect the work quite so much. So there we are. There we are. So here I am in a very, very good place, doing really good work, challenging, but satisfying. And whatever you do when you're doing something kind of new that hasn't been done before, well, I've never done it before. So across the road they do aluminium fabrication of truck backs for four-wheel drives. This is a trailer that I'm going to turn into a shepherd's hut. So when I've done the 20-foot super insulated bespoke yurt-like structure, I'm then going to start concentrating on a kind of bow top stroke shepherd's hut type structure, mainly because I need a place, but then it could be converted into all sorts of things. And then up there's a summit up there, and I want to start exploring up there. The yard down there is Raider Build Supplies, which is very handy, so I don't have to make any decisions about anything. I just go, oh, I need some screws, walk down there, get some. And when I buy full lengths, because they don't sell anything but from full lengths in there, we just throw them over the fence and I come and get them. So it's very good, very good. And I like it very much. It's a bit sort of untidying up to do around here, but this land isn't mine exactly, so, well, it isn't mine at all, so I am hoping to rent it, but the person who I'm hoping to rent it off doesn't know that, so there we are. And I haven't got the money to give them yet, so there's no point even talking to them about it. They're just leave it looking rubbish and then say something to him when he's in a good mood. It has stopped raining for probably like a few hours. The sun's out, so everybody's beginning to change their moods. Everybody's beginning to think, ooh, we might be out of trouble for a bit. So anyway, that's it. The yurt is progressing. I'm hoping to finish it in the next 2 weeks and install it in 2 weeks' time. Start in 2 weeks' time. I've got a platform to build. It's full moon today. So if all goes well, it'll be new moon and I will be installing it. So that's cool, isn't it? All right. So anybody who's interested in the Yurt project, it's going good now. Slowly, but it is going. And anybody who's interested in my projects, this is a really good place. I can do really good work here. And so there we are. Very good. Thank you very much and good luck to everybody.